This is Jesse Newell of the Kansas City Star. I'm here with Brett Taveau. He's an author of a Chiefs book, Unpacking Greatness, longtime offensive coordinator in high school. Brett, thanks for joining me. We're going to break down some Chiefs film. You looking forward to it?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, this was a play that went kind of made the rounds on social media with Patrick Mahomes. He completes a 35-yard pass off of play action. Let's go through this play and kind of break down exactly what goes into it, Brett, and what you saw from this play from the Chiefs in the third quarter. 35-yard gain by Travis Kelce.
Yeah, absolutely. This was one of the better throws of the day for Mahomes and a day where he had a lot of them. But this is a variation of what you call Y cross, and the objective is to flood the boundary, the short side of the field here. So the Chiefs line up in a trips bunch formation that's condensed. It's a little bit tighter of a bunch than you see sometimes, and Noah Gray, 83 on the backside here. In order to run this play, this outside zone play action, you have to have 6 protectors because you got C gap to protect at minimum. So Gray's job is to basically protect the inside gap first, which is the C gap. And then if there's no threat in the C gap, he's going to revert back out and get the D gap, which he does there and does a really good job of. The split here, I think on the left is Hardman. He's going to run the deep part of the flood concept. He's going to excuse me, I think run a post, some sort of variation of a post or a crack seam. And then what's interesting about this particular concept, with a lot of Y crosses, you have the number, the inside most receiver running the crossing route, just because of the distance it takes to cover. But this design is really interesting here because Fortson is going to run vertical here, who's the number 2 receiver. And what that's going to do is provide it's going to do 2 things. It's going to minimize the collision impact on Kelce running the crossing route. As you can see, Fortson is collisioned by this strong safety here rolled down. I think that's Simmons, number 8, number 9. I don't know what he is, but you see he collisions Fortson. Once that happens, Kelce he's got free reign of the seam here. So that allows him to avoid collision and get over. Okay. And then you see 59 here. If you could take it back to the start, you see 59 here. Okay. He's got to cap the run first. His responsibility, you have they're running it to what's called the under front of this side, which is the 2-eye on the inside eye of the guard, and then a 5 technique. So you have an A gap defender here on Tooney's inside eye, and then you have a C gap defender. So this 59 here, he's responsible for defending the B gap on this outside zone look. So he takes 1 step forward, and he really doesn't even step. I mean, it may just, it's just kind of a hesitation. But whenever you have somebody that can place a ball like Mahomes, and then the catch radius of Kelce, that is enough to get him out of position. He does a really good job recognizing play actions. You'll see as you roll the tape here. He does a really good job recognizing play action and getting vertical because he has an idea what's coming. Those guys study tape. But it's just enough when you got a quarterback like Mahomes and a receiver like Kelce to be able to be beat in that scenario. And Jesse, you and I talked on Twitter too. Most quarterbacks see this picture that you got frozen right there. They see 59 and they see this corner here with hips facing on the inside. And they're like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and check this down. But Mahomes is just different. I mean, he can make that throw, and he wants to make that throw, and he knows that he's got, a Hall of Fame tight end on the other side that's going to go up and make him look good if he happens
There's our
to miss a
screen
little
right there. There's Edwards-Helaire with the zone he could have thrown it to and probably gains 10 or 15 yards, but Patrick Mahomes saw something else because he trusted his arm strength right there.
100%. Yeah, I mean, they roll to a cover 3 type scenario right here, a single high zone coverage after the snap, and he's able to place it in. And it's just, I mean, it's from a defensive standpoint, I don't know that Arizona could have really done anything much different there. That's just, 2 generationally talented players making a play.
And real quickly,
yeah.
I just want to talk big picture too. Going under center, a play pass where Patrick Mahomes turns his back, because the Chiefs had some running success earlier in the game. What can that do for an offense? What can that do for the Chiefs when they run these sorts of sets and these sorts of plays?
Yeah. I mean, just the sheer instinct of defenders that are responsible for the run. Anytime that quarterback turns his back and shows ball, it's very difficult, even though they may have in their mind, hey, okay, we got a big play action tendency here. It's very difficult to, ignore that, what your subconscious is telling you, fit the run, fit the run. When you're in the gun and you see a ball fake or anything like that, it's just not as near as effective as the under center play action. You see a lot of teams that have made a lot of money without players near as good as Patrick Mahomes. With Rams, when they had Goff, they were a really good play action team. And then obviously Green Bay with Rodgers and, the whole McVay Shanahan tree, they major in play action because it opens up windows on the back end. But it can be a really, really effective tool for the offense to create explosive plays.
All right, Brett. Hey, well, I appreciate the insight. Thanks so much for joining us. And for this film breakdown session, like I said, a throw that made the rounds on the internet and went viral, but a lot that goes into it from Patrick Mahomes, choosing maybe the tougher throw, and a lot goes into it schematically for the Chiefs. If they're able to run the football, able to get under center, maybe opens up the playbook a little bit more. Thanks for joining us on this Chiefs film session.